So today in the news, we're talking about Kemi Badenoch. She's been largely criticized because just lately Tory members don't want her as party leader, and so there's been a lot of bashing. Nigerians are out for her because she's spoken largely about the politics in Nigeria, the education, all sorts of things. She's spoken against a lot of things in Nigeria. So Nigerians are reacting to these videos. We're going to be looking at some of the videos and some of our videos, or one or two of our videos, and the reactions from Nigeria, because Tory members don't want her as their leader. So most people are gonna, Nigerians are clear.
So you mean to tell me, even after everything Kemi Badenoch did to prove her allegiance to Britain, they still rejected her? Bro, is it Nigeria? What did she not say about Nigeria? She dragged the country to the ground. She did everything. She said, put Britain first. She said, it's not supposed to be diverse. She said, what did she not say? And they still... After everything, all the shenanigans, she went to the pub and she was singing Sweet Caroline. She did everything doable.
Breaking news. What go on?
Hello, good afternoon. We start with breaking news. An exclusive YouGov polling for Sky News shows half of all Conservative members think Kemi Badenoch should not lead the party into the next election. The poll found just 46% think that the current Tory leader should stay in place when the country next goes to vote, while 50% say she should not. Instead, the Shadow Justice Secretary, Robert Jenrick, currently has the most support when it comes to leading the party, enjoying a 7% lead over Kemi Badenoch.
Oh, so you mean pale, male, and stale gets the lead, not the I is not Nigerian, I is from SS. How is that going for you, Kemi? The whole corner. You know what? I predict.
I did not that she has been rejected home and away. Hey, wahala no dey finish. So how exactly will this play out for Kemi Badenoch? And what exactly will be our next political move? Like I always say, let's see how it goes. But I remember in one of my analyses, I was like, why don't Kemi just pull out all of this? They stole my brother. Just focus on your strength. Focus on how you are able to lead the party. Focus on the things you bring up. But let's see how it goes.
Party, what you have done to Kemi Badenoch is not fair. What you have done to her is not, because people have bashed her on social media because of you. She has made policies because of you. She has gone through a lot because of your party. In fact, she even unidentified herself as a Nigerian. She denied us because of you. And what do you do now? You not deny her. You don't deny her. It's not fair. I'm an immigrant. And in fact, I'm still going through a lot. Kemi Badenoch was supposed to make me go through a lot more. But it's not fair. The God of Hallelujah challenge will join. Now, British have denied Kemi Badenoch. She has unidentified herself as a Nigerian. Now, for Arabi, God will judge your party. God will judge your party. You will see, because of her, you will not win. We will.
Let's look at one of our videos, all right? Just one. Let's take one that is making Nigerians react this way. In the reactions, some people said she denied Nigeria as her country and all that. So let's take one of the videos.
I went to a secondary school. It was called a federal government girls' school in a place called Shagamu. And that was like being in prison. When I tell the stories about using a machete and having, because I know lawnmowers, that's the place that I'm talking about, having to fetch buckets of water. And that was the first time that I was away from home, away from my family. And I wasn't just looking at...
This is a boarding school?
Yes, it's a federal boarding school. And it was very...
You shared a dormitory with other girls?
We're about 150, I think. 20 to 30 in a room, and there were 6 rooms.
And
so
the
bunk
machete
beds,
is for cutting the grass.
Yes, cutting the grass.
Explain why were you cutting the grass?
Well, because who else is going to cut the grass? It's just, it's the
grass grows, you have machetes to cut it.
Exactly. They're not, this is a federal school where this is the old grammar school system sort of fading out, and everyone who passed an exam and got a certain score got to go to a federal school, and this was more socialism. So they sprinkled people around. They didn't want one school getting all the best results. They would mix people about, so you could end up getting sent thousands of miles away to a boarding school, at the extreme end of the country. So I was lucky. I didn't get sent too far away, but I was very far from home. I'd never been away from home before, and it was like Lord of the Flies. The students were in control. We needed to look after the school ground, so using a machete, having to clean toilets with no running water. I'm not going to go into the description of that, but it is very, very.
There were some headlines over the weekend that seem to suggest you no longer identify as being Nigerian. Of course, you were born in this country, you spent your childhood in Nigeria. Were those headlines accurately reflecting what you were saying? What's your sort of status in terms of how you identify British, Nigerian, all the rest of it?
Well, I think that the BBC certainly wrote that headline. It wasn't quite what I said, but it is true. My main identity is as British. That is what I see myself as. Nigeria is a nationality. It's not an ethnicity. There's no such language as Nigerian. There are lots of different ethnic groups there. And I think that as a politician in this country, we need to be very focused on what is happening here, not what's happening elsewhere. And every day, I see loads of Labour MPs in particular talking about every other country except the UK. If you come to this country, you need to be very focused on making sure that you integrate. And if you're a politician, you need to be 100% focused on British issues. And that's basically what I would say.
So these are all there is to the video. What are your takes on this? I believe in the elections, there are winners and there are losers. If they don't want her there, it's fine. She has made her mark in, as a politician out there. And whether she is a Nigerian or not, whether we don't like her or not, she's still a human being. So what are your thoughts about this? Drop it in the comments below. Do not forget to subscribe, like, and comment on the video what your thoughts are.